has been making a specialty of desserts recently. So our children especially enjoy that.
In your home, what does a traditional Indian meal look like?
Well, my family is from Andhra Pradesh.
And they have the most amazing cuisine.
Yes, I think so, although we've been enjoying the food of other areas as well while we're here. So my mother and grandmother are both excellent cooks, and my father too actually makes very good dosa, pasaratu, things like that. So, I mean, I think it looks exactly like what you might imagine. You know, sometimes it's very simple and it's sambar and rice and some sort of kura. Sometimes it's a little more complicated and my mom pulls out all the stops and makes pulao or something, or a few dishes. But it's a vegetarian household, so that usually defines it.
And the Andhra cuisine is famous for its chutneys. Do you manage to get all the ingredients together there?
I am not a preparer of chutneys, but my grandmother makes wonderful chutneys, and I think she manages to figure it all out. She gets the ingredients at the Indian stores near us.
Well, that's wonderful. You know, there was something else that I was reading about you, and the fact that at your wedding, you had a traditional Indian ceremony and you also had a traditional American ceremony. And it's a beautiful metaphor for the way people across the globe are coming together culturally. And was that very important to you?
Well, it was very important. We got married in Kentucky, which is the state where my husband's family was from, but we had so many people fly from all over the world, including India. And so both our guest list and the ceremonies were sort of a representation of our very different backgrounds coming together. And you know, my parents, of course, were married in a traditional Hindu ceremony. And so when I imagined weddings and what that might look like, I imagined the pictures that I'd seen of them.
But what did you and the Vice President like, especially at the Amer Fort?
Well, I mean, obviously the architecture is spectacular, and we really enjoyed seeing the mix of cultures that were brought in when they were building it in the first instance. So you see the Persian influence, and of course you see elements of Hinduism with the lotus references, and it was just a really interesting representation of the position that the Mughal Empire had at the time and the way that they were sort of projecting themselves. So it was a fascinating study in history.
Hello and welcome. You're watching India Global. I'm Gargi Rawat. Let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh refused to sign the joint statement of the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation due to its failure to address India's concerns regarding cross-border terrorism. In his address, he hit out at Pakistan. The CIA has backed Trump's claims. The CIA says that strikes have damaged the Iran nuclear sites, that they were severely damaged is what John Ratcliffe has said, backing the president. Kolhapuri chappal star at the Milan fashion show. The Prada takes fashion inspiration, but there's no credit for India, no credit to the humble Kolhapuri chappal. And the Axiom 4 mission crew all set to dock at the International Space Station. Astronaut Subhanshu Shukla's Hindi message wins hearts. He says namaskar from space. He also says how this mission is a solid step towards India's own human space program. Sending a stern message to India's neighbours, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh refused to sign a joint statement of the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation because it did not have mentioned the Pahalgam terror attack that claimed 26 innocent lives. Also did not reflect India's strong position on terror while skipping any mention of Pahalgam. The document, though, mentioned Balochistan and tacitly accused India of creating unrest there. Pahalgam's exclusion from the document appears to have been done at Pakistan's behest, as its all-weather ally China holds the chair currently. Let's just listen in to what Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said. He pointedly put the pen aside. Also, Shiv Arur brings us the details.
It is imperative that those who sponsor, nurture, and utilize terrorism for their narrow and selfish ends must bear the consequences. Some countries use cross-border terrorism as an instrument of policy and provide shelter to terrorists. There should be no place for such double standards. SCO should not hesitate to criticize such nations. India's zero tolerance for terrorism is manifest today through its actions. This includes our right to defend ourselves against terrorism. And we have shown that epicenters of terrorism are no longer safe, and we will not hesitate to target them.
By refusing to sign a document at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit of Defense Ministers, Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has taken an extremely strong stance, given that this joint document on terror had actually expunged any mention of Pahalgam and had attempted to add a mention of Balochistan. Now, coming just 2 months after the Pahalgam terror attack, in which Pakistan-sponsored terrorists had killed 25 Indian citizens and 1 Nepali citizen in the hill station of Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir, any dilution of an anti-terror document at the SCO level was seen as a brazen attempt to dilute terror, a brazen attempt by China, who is hosting the SCO, to distract and divert from Pakistan-sponsored terror, given that Pakistan is a vassal state of the Chinese government. All of this considering that Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, had already made an extremely powerful speech and a statement at the SCO in the presence of his counterparts from Pakistan and China, both on Pahalgam as well as Operation Sindoor, and India's stance and rules of engagement, where any act of terror is now seen as an act of war. China's complicity in trying to dilute any mention of Pahalgam is not to be missed, given that when National Security Advisor Ajit Doval was at the SCO just before Rajnath Singh, his powerful comments on it, there was no comment from the Chinese side on it. There was no attempt by the Chinese to actually, put Pakistan, try to defend Pakistan or try to divert from those statements, which was seen in some ways as Pakistan's increasing isolation. But the document at the SCO, obviously at the hands of the Chinese, trying to remove Pahalgam and add Balochistan, shows that much more work is still there to be done from a diplomatic standpoint as far as India is concerned. And therefore, Rajnath Singh's strong stance in putting that pen away, refusing to sign that document, could be the first step of the work ahead for India.
So according to the Secretary General, Bagiev, he told CGTN that after recruiting Belarus, SCO has officially become a trans-regional organization. The Secretary General said that SCO has grown into well-reputed and well-known organization. So this is also a communication between the defense ministers. We see the defense minister of Russia, Iran come to Qingdao. We also see the defense ministers of India and Pakistan. And this is a really rare occasion that one meeting would gather the defense ministers of these two countries. Also a very rare occasion for the Indian defense minister to visit China. There's a bilateral meeting between the defense ministers in China and India, which would give another layer of cooperation and military cooperation between the two countries. Qingdao is the city of the summit, SCO summit, back in 2018. This is the city where the Chinese President Xi Jinping back in 2018 proposed to build a SCO community with a shared future. And this defense ministers event will give a jumpstart to this year's SCO events, where the final summit of the SCO will take place in Tianjin, when the leaders of the 10 member states will further discuss a new blueprint for further cooperation.
Well, we're now joined by Brahmachalani, strategic affairs expert. Thank you so much for joining us. And a strong stand there taken by Rajnath Singh at the SCO defense ministers meeting. In fact, this had to end without any joint statement because of India's stand, and also calling out the double standards that the grouping has on terrorism.
I think Defense Minister Rajnath Singh did well by refusing to sign the joint communique, because what China and Pakistan sought to do by excluding the Pahalgam slaughter and inserting Balochistan was designed to actually put India in the dock. The fact is that the nexus between China and Pakistan remains strong. This nexus has been built on that old saying that my enemy's enemy is my friend. And for China, working with Pakistan is facilitated by the fact that Pakistan is willing to be treated as a client of Beijing, is willing to do China's bidding. And the SCO summit really showed how Pakistan will do what China wants it to do. And I think we should not forget that what has happened at the SCO summit fits with a larger pattern. China has repeatedly, over the years, shielded Pakistan's export of terrorism. It has time and again blocked or held up the United Nations designation of major Pakistani terrorists as global terrorists. So given that record, is it any surprise that at the SCO summit in China, the host China sought to dilute Pakistan's role in sponsoring cross-border terrorism?
Right. Brahmachalani, also given that, post-Operation Sindoor, we sent delegations all over the world to push India's point of view. Does this also show there's a lot of work still to be done in our own neighborhood? Or is that unfair given that China was the host, as you have pointed out? I'm sorry, I'll have to cut this short. There's some breaking news now coming in. We're just going to cut across to NDTV 24/7.
Is underway. These efforts aim to reconstruct the sequence of events leading to the accident and identify contributing factors to enhance safety and prevent future occurrence. All actions have been taken in full compliance with domestic laws and international obligations in a time-bound manner. Now, I was inquiring through my sources on when a preliminary report would be out. As I understand it, a preliminary report into this crash needs to take place within a period of 1 month. That time period hasn't happened, but with the recovery of this data successfully, and given the fact that at least one of the black boxes was very badly damaged, given the fact that we have recovered the data, the process of reconstruction can start. And I think in a finite period of time, there would be a report, a preliminary one, which can actually give people around the world, not just in India, that basic explanation, what went wrong. Why did that Boeing 787 Dreamliner's engines roll back on thrust? Did they roll back on thrust? Was there an electrical failure? Was there a pilot error? Was it a combination of factors? Was there potential fuel contamination? There are any number of theories, including incorrect configuration of the flaps. All theories. Now we have the data, we will know the truth.
Yes, Vishnu, that means essentially what this really suggests is that now the data has been successfully secured and recovered. We are one step closer to solving the mystery of the Ahmedabad plane crash.
Well, I wouldn't say one step closer. We are on the verge of cracking the mystery. Let us hope that the data gives us a clear evidence of what exactly went wrong. Now, remember, when we speak about the DFDR, the Digital Flight Data Recorder, it records more than 1,000 parameters on every single aspect of the flight. For example, the performance of the engine, the fuel flow rate, the configuration of the flaps, those are structures on the wing, the configuration of the cockpit, the electronic systems on board, the electrical systems on board, the avionics on board, the control inputs by the pilots. That's one. And then, of course, there is the cockpit voice recorder, which records the conversations of the pilot. And so you corroborate what were the pilots saying and what does the data show. Remember, the cockpit voice recorder, in other words, the recordings of the conversations by the pilots themselves, is not necessarily enough to solve a mystery like this. You need data from the digital flight data recorders. Why is this important? It is important because Air India operates more Dreamliners than any other wide-body aircraft in its fleet. What is a wide-body aircraft? It is a long-range airliner with twin aisles inside the cabin, but the Dreamliner is used by airlines across the world. Therefore, this will have a bearing on Dreamliner operations for any number of airlines and carriers across the world? Is there a systemic problem with the Boeing 787? Is this as a result of a problem within Air India, a maintenance defect, pilot defect, or perhaps a combination of all factors? We will get to the truth soon enough.
All right, that's the big breaking news coming in at the moment. What we are learning is that this is information coming in from the government, that the data from Black Box has been downloaded and, it has been successfully secured. This clearly means that the Ahmedabad plane crash mystery is expected to be solved in the near future, and this is the latest coming in. Thank you so much, Vishnu, for getting us all those details there. We'll come back to you later for more on that. Big breaking news coming in at this point in time in connection with the Ahmedabad plane crash probe. Shifting our focus now, our big coverage on Shubhanshu Shukla's journey to space continues on NDTV at 4:30 p.m. Indian Air Force Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will become the first Indian ever to set foot on the International Space Station. About 28 hours after liftoff, SpaceX Dragon capsule carrying 4 Axiom 4 crew members, including India, Shubhanshu Shukla, will dock at the space station, beginning the 14-day mission. Well, in his first call from space, Shubhanshu Shukla called his experience as indescribable. Greeting with a namaskar from space, Shubhanshu said that he's getting used to zero gravity, like a baby learning how to walk. But he's really enjoying every moment. He's also said that this mission was a strong step forward for India's human space program and for the upcoming Gaganyaan mission. Remember, during the 14-day mission, the astronauts are scheduled for a list of experiments and planned interactions as well. Let's first listen in to Shubhanshu Shukla and his crew members from Axiom 4 mission.
नमस्कार, एक छोटा सा संदेश मेरे सारे देशवासियों के लिए। कुछ ही देर कल 1 महीने क्वारंटीन में रहने के बाद कल हम लोग लॉन्च पैड 39 से लॉन्च हुए, जहां से पहली मून लैंडिंग, जहां से अपोलो 11 मिशन भी लॉन्च हुआ था। और इस समय स्पेस में बहुत ही ज़्यादा उत्साह, बहुत ही ज़्यादा प्राउड फील कर रहा हूँ। और जब हम लॉन्च कर रहे थे तो मेरे स्पेस सूट पे तिरंगा मेरे शोल्डर्स पे था, जो मुझे कहीं ना कहीं ये याद दिला रहा था कि मैं अकेले ये जर्नी नहीं अंडरटेक कर रहा हूँ, बल्कि आप सब मेरे साथ हैं और इस जर्नी का एक हिस्सा हैं। तो ये ISS तक जाने के लिए मेरी एक जर्नी की शुरुआत है एक तरह से। अभी हम लोग कुछ ही घंटों में ISS में डॉक करेंगे और फिर हम इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन पे जाके रहेंगे। बट कहीं ना कहीं ये भी दर्शाता है कि ये भारत के ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की एक छोटा सा स्टेप पर एक बहुत सॉलिड और स्टेडी स्टेप है उस डायरेक्शन में जिस तरफ हम जा रहे हैं गगनयान जैसे मिशन को लेके। तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप सब मेरी इस जर्नी का हिस्सा बने। आप भी उतना ही प्राउड फील करें जितना मैं फील कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज ये सब हमारे केवल टेक्निकल एकम्प्लिशमेंट को नहीं दर्शाता है, बल्कि हमारे ये होप्स या हमारे एम्बिशंस या हमारे एस्पिरेशंस को दर्शाता है कि हम किस तरफ जाना चाहते हैं। तो आइए मेरे साथ इस जर्नी का हिस्सा बनिए। मेरी पूरी कोशिश रहेगी कि अगले 14 दिनों में मेरा जो मिशन एकम्प्लिशमेंट है, जो टास्क है, वो तो मैं अचीव करूँ ही, बट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इस एक्सपीरियंस को मैं किस तरह से अपनी फ़ोटोज़ और वीडियोज़ में कैप्चर करूँ, ताकि मैं वापस आके आप लोगों के साथ इसे शेयर कर सकूँ। मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप मेरे थ्रू ये जर्नी एक्सपीरियंस करें और इसका हिस्सा बने। एंड चलिए अगले 14 दिन को एक्साइटिंग बनाते हैं और साथ में स्पेस में रहते हैं। धन्यवाद। Hello everyone, namaskar from space. I'm thrilled to be here with my fellow astronauts, as Peggy said, 1 veteran and 3 rookies, and wow, what a ride it was. Frankly, when I was sitting in the capsule in Grace yesterday on the launch pad, my only thought in my mind was that let's just go. After 30 days of quarantine, it was a feeling that I just wanted to go. You know, the excitement and all was, you know, probably far away. It was just the feeling that let's just leave here. But when the ride started, it was something like you getting pushed back into the seat. It was an amazing ride. And then suddenly, nothing. everything silenced, and you were just floating. You unbuckle and you were just floating in the silence of vacuum. It was an amazing feeling. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has been a part of this. I understand that this is not a personal accomplishment. It is a collective achievement of each and every one of you who has been a part of this journey. And to make this possible, I really want to thank each one of you. Also to family and friends, your support has mattered so much. This is so much because of all of you guys. We showed you joy and grace. This is swan, a great symbol. It looks really cute, but we have a very important swan in our Indian culture, which we are about. Swan symbolizes wisdom. It also has the ability to discern. So this means a lot more, not just a zero-G indicator for us. And I think that we all have symbolism in Poland and in Hungary, in India as well. So I think this looks like a coincidence, but it is not. That it has more meaning than what we are attaching it to it. The capsule itself, Grace, has been very kind. I was not feeling very great when we, got shot into the vacuum. But since yesterday, I've been told that I've been sleeping a lot, which is a good sign. So I think that's a great sign. I'm getting used to this quite well, enjoying the views, enjoying the entire experience, learning like a baby, learning the new steps, learning how to walk, learning how to control yourself, everything, learning how to eat, I think. So it's a new environment, new challenge, and I'm really enjoying this experience with my fellow astronauts here. And it's good to make mistakes, but it's better to see somebody else do that too. So it has been a fun time up here. That is all I have to say. Thank you so much, guys, for making this happen, and I'm sure that we are going to have a great time.
Welcome, Earthlings, from Grace. We are in the newest capsule, Dragon capsule, and we are very happy with her. She's got a little bit of a new spacecraft smell, and we're loving her a bunch. It's so much fun to be up in space again. Always fun to be in space, but it's really fun to be in space with 3 new astronauts. And they've got a lot to share with you, but we just wanted to welcome you on board, Grace.
Alright, hi everyone from space. Üdvözlök mindenkit a világűrből. We had an amazing ride, as Shuf said. We were actually only a few seconds away from a few more days of quarantine. So even though we were sitting basically almost 3 hours in our capsule, our new capsule, and those times could be sometimes a little bit boring, we had those minutes and seconds when it was actually very, very exciting, even before the launch. When the launch happened, it was a feeling that I could not predict. We have been trying to prepare for those minutes and seconds for a long time, including the centrifuge training, including fighter jet trainings as well. But the rocket launch is completely something else. I was really, really happy that we could do this finally, and we also wanted to thank you for thanks for everyone around the world, and every person, every team who made this beautiful day happen, because finally our day came.
Only 4 of us, but we have with us our zero-G indicator, Joy, that started to float with us just when we injected into orbit. Joy is floating with us all over the capsule, so sometimes we have to find him and her here with us. But it's an amazing feeling to be in orbit for the first time. When I unbuckled for the first time, I didn't feel 100%, but then everything settled, and when I looked out through the window for the first time, the view was just stunning.
Where we are?
Now we are flying over Europe. We have just before this conference we saw passing Italy, Sicily, the Greek islands and the Balkans, and now we are going a bit slightly up north, so towards Hungary and Poland a bit on the side. So yes, this is a great moment to be able to see back on Europe, on home, on our countries, and yes, Maggie, you can show the view through the window. Okay.
And well, this message from Shubhanshu Shukla comes just 4 decades after Rakesh Sharma, the first Indian to orbit the space, told the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi that India looked सारे जहां से अच्छा from space. Listen in.
बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूं कि सारे जहां से अच्छा.
एक छोटा सा स्टेप पर एक बहुत सॉलिड और स्टेडी स्टेप है उस डायरेक्शन में जिस तरफ हम जा रहे हैं गगनयान जैसे मिशन को लेके. तो मैं चाहता हूं कि आप सब मेरी इस जर्नी का हिस्सा बने.
All right, very beautiful message coming in from Shubhanshu Shukla as he's about to complete the docking at around 4:30 p.m. This is what we're learning, and that will begin his 14-day journey into space, and we all wish his safe return. Well, we have some more news that's coming in at this point in time. We are given to understand that US President Donald Trump has weighed in on the victory of Indian origin politician Zoran.
Your personalized car insurance deals from Otto Sergei, already done for you.
Simples.
Just make it simples with Compare the Market.
The very big sale has landed. Plus, you can get more time to pay with VeryPay. Save up to 60% off selected men's, women's and kids with great brands like Hugo Boss, River Island, Adidas, Be by Very, Under Armour and more.
Ooh.
Plus, with VeryPay, you can buy now and pay up to 12 months later and pay no interest. Very. Let's make it sparkle.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Evlo can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000, whether it's for home improvements, new appliances, a car, or for some of life's big moments. So even if you've had problems with credit before, Evlo looks beyond your credit score and always takes a case-by-case approach. Visit evlo.co.uk to get your conditional decision in minutes. Evlo, your future in your hands.
You ever thought about yours?
Funeral? Yeah.
Flowers, service.
Everyone there. The more the merrier.
Even your axe, Mark? It sounds a bit mad, but I think I want to be buried with these.
Scatter you where?
I think here.
Yeah, it's your day. You have what you want.
What about you with your axe, Sue? Which one?
Start your plans. Talk to Go Up Funeral Care.
We know travel can be confusing. That's why I use travelup.com. You can upgrade your seat, one way or return, increase your baggage allowance, filter by flight time, journey duration, and customer rating. And while you're away, TravelUp has you covered. From weather updates and on-demand taxi services to event and excursion tickets, all at your fingertips. Book now on travelup.com or call 0207 580 5000. TravelUp, flights, hotels, holidays.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
Hastings Direct is simple. Great cover, great price, and a great app makes us one of the UK's top choices when comparing car insurance online. Hastings Direct.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Evlo can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000, whether it's for home improvements, new appliances, a car, or for some of life's big moments. So even if you've had problems with credit before, Evlo looks beyond your credit score and always takes a case-by-case approach. Visit evlo.co.uk to get your conditional decision in minutes. Evlo, your future in your hands.
Wouldn't life be so much easier if you could control your blinds at the touch of a button? With Ultra Smart Blinds from Appeal, there's no chains, cords or wiring because these stylish blinds are driven by a rechargeable power pack. New Ultra Smart Blinds from Appeal, the intelligent solution for home shading.
Someone's happy. Get that lucky cow feeling with luckycowbingo.com/bingo, the site that's bursting with beautiful bingo games. 75 ball bingo, even 90 ball bingo. Fill your bingo boots today. Get that lucky cow feeling at luckycowbingo.com/bingo or download the Lucky Cow Android app from the Play Store.
I bought cars on finance, so I've made my claim.
If our lenders charge hidden commissions, then I've made my claim.
I could be owed thousands.
I've made my claim.
I've made my claim.
I've made my claim.
I've made my claim. It's so quick and simple.
You could be owed thousands in hidden commissions from vehicles bought on finance since 2007, even without the details.
I've made my claim.
Trust myclaimgroup.co.uk.
Claims made simple.
Just because my kids are growing up and have little ones of their own doesn't mean family life slows down. I'm busier than ever. Now that I'm in my 60s, I want to make sure that my family has enough to cover my funeral costs and other expenses when I'm no longer around. That's why I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today. They're the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period. Unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years, with Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one and you're covered for the whole of your life. Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up. Learning more couldn't be simpler. Go online or talk to their friendly UK team in just one phone call. Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period and no annoying trips to the doctors either.
Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Now I'm with Cover Today, I can get on with something much more interesting.
To get a free life insurance quote, call our friendly UK team on 0800 542 1545 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
Karnataka BJP's social media site X handle after a controversial message on social media site where